Okay, we're here with Josh Chernila of RaisingKaine.com. This is a fantastic Virginia blog who is here. They're here as the state blogger core blog from Virginia, and we're going to ask him a few questions. First of all, I'd just like to ask you, what did you do to make RaisingKaine.com such a success? I mean, in the early days of Raising Kaine, what were the things that you did?
Well, I think the first thing that really we set out to do was we grew out of this general anxiety that Democrats weren't standing up. That after the 2004 election, we watched Senator Kerry sort of go down at a time when he just shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He should have. We felt very strongly that he should have fought back. And so in the aftermath of that, we're sort of looking around on the horizon of what was coming up. And that's something that we always do. In Virginia, we always have elections. There are off-year elections and off-year elections.
Yeah.
And so around November, there's always this soul-searching, horizon-looking effort that happens because there's always the next fight.
Sure.
And that fighting spirit was first attached itself to the 2005 governor's election for Governor Tim Kaine. Oh, and check out my awesome Tim Kaine button.
Excellent. Explain the graphic here.
The Moving Virginia Forward. If you Google Tim Kaine's eyebrow, you will probably see 100 hysterical animations of things like, because Tim Kaine, when he talks, his eyebrow sort of does.
You can't replicate it.
I can't. It's
a
a very special thing. But and so you'll see animations of like the eyebrow going across somebody's forehead, or
oh
like
my God.
Attacking a squirrel. There's funny things about Tim Kaine's eyebrow. And so this is just the Tim Kaine Moving Virginia Forward pack having a sense of humor in a really smart way.
So he appealed to the progressive fighting side of the Democratic Party.
It was more that it's not our job to deliver victories.
Right.
It's our job to deliver fights.
Okay.
Okay. And
by our, you mean
the progressive blog sphere.
Yes.
and essentially activists.
Right.
And what Tim Kaine is not, in many ways, is not somebody who progressives would, on paper, naturally drift towards. He has he's very interested in there are a number of criticisms that you can level at Tim Kaine, and I won't go into them. But from a progressive perspective, he would not be he's not Paul Wellstone and he's not Russ Feingold.
Right.
Yeah.
But he is an articulate deliverer of a democratic message.
Absolutely, and he also has some very forward-looking programs that he was very interested in putting forward, not the least of which a solid transportation package, which is very important, based on a smart growth concept, and then also the idea of pre-K, universal pre-K throughout Virginia, which is something that really was very exciting. So the idea of Raising Kaine was really about taking the fight to them. We felt that Democrats had been laying back too much, had not had to answer for their sort of deadbeat conservatism, and they basically had really dropped the ball, and we needed to pick it up, point out the flaws, and start articulating a positive, progressive message to show that progressivism can be the vital core of American politics in the era that we're going into now.
Totally. Let me ask you this. What are some of the up-and-coming politicians in your state? They could be Congress races or something like that that you feel strongly about.
Well, there are a couple of really great politicians. We're looking at, as I said, we have off-year elections.
Right.
2009 is the governor's election, and we're going to pick a new governor because we have term limits, and so Tim Kaine has to leave office.
Right.
Two fantastic Democrats running for that spot. Brian Moran, the House the House Minority Caucus leader. He is a fantastic Northern Virginia talent. His brother is congressman from the 8th District, Jim Moran. He is he's a charming guy with a really strong record. You look into that, and there's a lot of beautiful stuff. Former prosecutor,
Great.
very strong character, and very affable. Good chance for.
And who is the other candidate?
The other candidate is from Bath County. I lived in Central Virginia for a while, and I had the opportunity to vote for him in his first Senate race. And Cree Deeds is. Sort of has a much more rural point of view. He's stronger appeal to rural voters, such as he has an A+ rating from the NRA. He's a very strong person, and just limitless energy. I've done things where I was on one side of the state at a rally, and then I'd gone to the other side of the state, and he was at both of those, and then 3 days later he was at another thing up in Northern Virginia. He's a tireless campaigner, and he's really achieved a lot. The most important issue for us in Virginia right now, though, is 2010, which is redistricting, because 2000 redistricting gerrymandered the Commonwealth so badly that it was essential. They were able to create 2-to-1 majorities in both the state Senate and the state House. We fought that back. We took back the state Senate last year.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah.
We're trying to do that in Kentucky as well.
It's an amazing thing to be able to do. We were the first. Yeah. We were one of the first Southern legislatures to go from Republican to Democratic control since Reconstruction.
Wow.
And one of the crux moves on that was the election of State Senator Chap Peterson, who's in another. He's a Northern Virginia guy, sort of Fairfax guy, but just a wonderful guy, an excellent leader in Democratic politics.
Great.
Another great Virginia Democrat to look out for is Tom Perriello in the 5th District.
Okay.
Tom Perriello is he has a real emphasis on bringing faith into works, and he has an outstanding campaign. He's outraising notorious bigot and anti-immigrant crusader Virgil Good, who's a good old boy who's been down there forever. He started out as a Democrat, and then he went Republican, independent, and went Republican.
Okay.
And Virgil's a really tough guy to overcome, because he's got roots deep in that community. But if anybody's gonna peel that off, it's
we'll
Tom
definitely
Perriello.
Look out for that one.
Yeah, Tom Perriello is a great candidate down the south side of Virginia. The 5th District is bigger than New Jersey, just to give you a sense, and it is a massive rural
space.
Does
the 5th District border Kentucky?
It's more central Southern Virginia, so it borders North Carolina.
Right.
Over there, I think you've got Rick Boucher, who's in coal country, and you're never gonna. He's a very solid Democrat, and I think Eric Cantor is along the. I think he borders Kentucky as well, possibly. Who's a Republican, who's actually been talked about as a potential running mate for John McCain.
Really? Let me stop this. I want to pause the interview for a second and pick back up in just a second.
Okay, go ahead.